Good morning, Councillor Toor.
Good
Thank
morning.
you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Councillor Toor is our ambassador for the city from an innovation perspective. So he's going to talk to us a lot about that in this episode. So first, I'd just like you to introduce yourself, tell us a bit more of what you do within the city, and then we can get into the innovation and incubation side of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
My name is Gurpartap Singh Toor. I'm a regional councillor here at the City of Brampton, serving my first term as a member of council, but I'm more proudly chair of economic development here. I love what the Innovation District does and getting to be involved in it. I believe I bring the voice of the youth in our city to the council table, being the youngest member ever to be elected here. So very proud of that, and I'm happy to champion all the amazing work that BVZ and all our Innovation District partners do.
Okay. Talking about that, and you talked about innovation, how does innovation play into this, into your role, and how do you champion, for example, the youth of the community in various ways, other than BVZ as well? Like, how does the Innovation District go about that, and how do you in particular champion that?
Absolutely. Our city is one of the youngest populations. On average age, we're 34.
Yeah.
One of the fastest growing cities as well. Very entrepreneurial population that's doing big things. A lot of startup founders. And, Brampton is so strategically located in what we call the Silicon Valley of the North between Waterloo and Toronto. But I also always believe that if you want people to just think you're innovative or you're cool, then you talk about it. We talk about Brampton's value. We talk about where we're located. We talk about the talent that we have.
Yes.
But if you want people to truly believe that you're innovative, that's where you see the Innovation District come about. That's where the City of Brampton took on this initiative, made sure that we have some skin in the game. Do something for our local community, for our local entrepreneurs, partnering with amazing partners in this Innovation District, including the BVZ, seeing where we can be supportive. I think that has been key to the city showcasing how we're innovative. I'm very happy to champion that, whether as in my role as the chair of economic development, or like I said, just as a young member of council that others can perhaps relate to, somebody that understands the future of Canada and the future of technology and the innovation that's happening within our cities, within our communities right now, and what challenges young entrepreneurs are facing in today's day and age, and how can I play a part in my role in any shape or form. I think that's been valuable.
Okay, sounds good. But going back to 5 years, I know the Innovation District has been around for 5 years. What was the original vision for the district as a whole? All the partners included in it.
I still remember when this took place. I was a member of staff actually at City of Brampton at the time, and we were in talks with TMU to bring their undergraduate campus here, bring another university to the City of Brampton. To really capitalize on that. And as that caught steam, that momentum, we saw the establishment of the cybersecurity catalyst. The idea about the venture zone came about, similar to what TMU at that time had DMZ in Toronto. A lot of these conversations came about that said, while we're waiting for a university, while we're waiting to achieve a long-term goal, let's start putting our money towards this now. Let's start investing into our city now. And seeing where we're located physically here in downtown Brampton, on the goal line between Kitchener-Waterloo and Toronto, that being the tech corridor, we said, like we've done enough talking about us being in the center of this corridor. Let's actually plant that seed today and let's see it germinate. And I'm very glad we made that decision at the time. And you see that investment year after year that the City of Brampton has put into this. And, I would say for better part, it's our community that's made the investment into this through their taxpayer dollars. And now fast forward 5 years, you look at this flourishing. It's turned out to be something so beautiful. We've had more partners join the Innovation District. And as we look out to the next 5 years, I think we will have some exciting news to share about it.
That's amazing. And yes, I've seen a lot of interesting projects that are coming up for the next 5 years. But staying within those 5 years and being part of that journey, whether with the council or at City Council, what do you see? What has come out of that? Like, what would be good examples that have come out? Like, for example, I was just interviewing Scooty. That's a great example for Brampton Venture Zone. But if we talk about the district as a whole, could you share some other examples like that, similar to that?
Absolutely. There's been startups that have come out of here that have really put Brampton on the map, that have gone on to conferences like Collision or Web Summit across Canada now. Anytime we participate as a City of Brampton in those conferences, and when you go look around the names of startups on these boards and you look at where they're located in Mini-C Brampton, Ontario, it makes you very proud. That these are startups that are coming out of Brampton. These are Brantonians. These are entrepreneurs from here. These are job creators, future job creators in our city as well, and getting to support them. Scooty is a great example. There are a couple of examples that is slip my mind in health tech that came out of BVZ.
We had like Tenomix, we had Wessel.
Mix is good. And even on that note, like you look at how many female founders specifically that Brampton Venture Zone has supported.
Yes.
I don't think anybody could boast those kind of metrics. Seeing that real-time support, these companies taking off the ground, getting showcased across the country, are actually successful businesses now. They're scaling up now. They're at that stage now. It is great to see. But I think we're still so early that a lot of these names that you're going to see, like Scooty as well, once we see them expand across the country and hopefully globally, I know we will all sit back. Hopefully, we're all retired by then to sit back and say that all started in Brampton.
Yeah. On that note, you mentioned about Brampton Venture Zone. So I was looking at the metrics over the last 5 years. We've had like 77% of retainership in terms of startups still being active regionally. So not just in Brampton, but some of them like Scooty are across the regions, correct? So this just goes to show how the Innovation District, an idea of, okay, let's start something from an innovation perspective, but not just an idea. Like you mentioned, we're working on action. We're actually doing something about it. We're doing those connections. We're doing the mentorship, and we're bringing people and connecting people together in this district. From that perspective, BVZ, you've been part of this journey as well with BVZ when Usha was there, as well as when Ferdinand has been around. How would you say BVZ plays into this entire innovation district? I know you've given, we've talked about Scooty, but from your perspective, how can it, in the next 5 years, expand even more? And currently, how has it been for you with the journey with BVZ?
I think BVZ has, probably, I would say, has been our most successful partner.
Okay.
When we look at the metrics that you have produced, all the verticals you're in, and I'm excited about medtech or health tech, for example, because we have the new medical school here now. So it makes a lot of natural sense. But in all the different verticals that you've done, incredible work here in our city, it's provided this launch pad for our local entrepreneurs. Come not just get mentorship, not just get advice, but actually learn how to build this startup, how to build out on those ideas, learn quickly, fail quickly, pivot quickly. Sure. And like you said, when 77% of them are still active, that is a very good rate. That shows that BVZ is a place where you come in, hone your skills, you can fail on your ideas and pivot and adapt to whatever changes you're seeing in the market. And that is the key to any business, not just a business in tech, but any business to survive is learning where their failure points are going to be or looking past the horizon and seeing where they need to actually get to. I think that kind of mentorship that BVZ has provided, leadership they have provided has been incredible. And through their network as well. Through the other venture zones that are part of the greater ecosystem with TMU. Yeah. I think that's been valuable to local entrepreneurs as well. So seeing that happen right here at home, not a 2-hour ride downtown Toronto, makes a big difference for our founders. That for a lot of startups, a lot of entrepreneurs, being an entrepreneur or working on your startup is typically not your full-time or your primary job. Yes. Typically, this is something that you're working from the corner of your desk. But when you come into the innovation district, once you become part of this ecosystem, this family here, I think, with everybody's support in all different ways, when people get to work on those ideas, that it actually becomes their full-time job, it becomes their primary job. That's where we're seeing the success. That's definitely a success. And you see so many of our, especially BVZ's startup founders who eventually move towards the founder side. Yeah. Something I love that we're doing right now, and I think that's something you initiated early on, was the Brampton Innovator Program, where even our
corporate worker who has an idea and wants to explore that can kind of come through our program. So can you talk about maybe something of the innovator program, BVZ's innovator program? And I know you were there at our last cohort. What did you feel with that kind of, and out of that cohort, I know not everyone goes on to becoming a founder
Sure.
because it's a very early stage ideation stage. But out of that, I know at least 4 who went on to continue what they were doing, whether they're doing a side job, a hustle, but they're still at it. So can you tell us something more? What do you think about this innovator program at BVZ?
I think this is one of the most noble programs that could be out there because, like you said, these are entrepreneurs that are right now in a different role, in a different place, but they have these ideas. But when you don't have that community around you, or if you don't have people that believe in your ideas or show you the possibility of your ideas, it is very difficult for anybody to work on those, and they will just remain as ideas. Through the Innovator program, when people get that chance to ideate, to expand on that further, to have a team of people that are willing to help them out. Sometimes all it takes is for people to just believe in your idea. As long as it's in your head, it might sound absurd that, yeah, like it's a cool idea, but it can never happen. But when you spitball it, when you start talking to people about your idea and you get people's input, you go through a program like that, you get people's support on it, that at least shows you that this could be a possibility. And after that point, I think as an entrepreneur, the ball's in your court that, are you a risk taker? Are you going to actually move on this? And if you move on this, great. We have space for you here to move on it.
So as part of the city, and I know the city has a lot of resources for few, because this is an interview which even potential founders could be listening to. What would you say the city has to offer them besides, say, an incubator, which would attract people from, say, Toronto or Waterloo to come to the city of Brampton? What are those key features that are really attractive to come incubate within the city?
So right here in Innovation District, we have partners that help you from your first step, like you said, like from ideation to actually starting up, to getting those micro grants in place to get you started. We have ways that we can help you in that. We can help you if you're a startup. If you're trying to scale up, there's an accelerator here to help you. If you're trying to go global, we have a strategy for that. Right here in Brampton, we're working on big ideas that have possibilities of changing the world, but we're working in a very local setup. You're not in the biggest city in the world. You have a team that's a family that's here to help you out. And more importantly, I think when our biggest bet has been on attracting investment into our city, attracting bigger businesses too that want to invest in our city. When we ask them, what made you come to City of Brampton other than the great service that we give you? It has always been about talent. It has always been that you can find people here. We have, like I said, a very young population, very entrepreneurial, very educated, and they have that spirit in them that they want to do something more. Anytime somebody decides to open up shop in City of Brampton, there's no shortage of talent for them to work through. So I think that's been our biggest advantage. And here in the Innovation District, being able to actually draw all of that into one place, into one tangible place, I think that's been very important for us.
I think partnerships with, say, TMU or with, like you said, you had Rogers Cybersecurity, others as well in a system like Algoma, Sheridan. How do you see that taking this district even further in the next, say, 5 years? And how important do you feel that it helps with this entire innovation aspect for the city?
It really helps. Like you mentioned, TMU, Rogers, Algoma being directly involved in the Innovation District. Again, these are big academic institutions or big commercial institutions that help you take your idea into reality, or, they may be your first client. They may introduce you to your first client.
Sure.
That really helps when somebody is ready to buy what your idea is. And more importantly, if I zoom out even outside of the Innovation District, we look at the great corporate partners that we have. The Loblaws HQ being here in our city, the Rogers HQ being here in our city. We have some of the most amazing companies like MDA Space that has the largest space contract. They're all based here in Brampton. They all believe in Brampton. That's why they're here. So when we see a Brampton startup, an entrepreneur coming up through the ranks, and they get connected to these corporate partners that we have, it makes a very easy sales pitch. You have a corporate culture around you that's willing to buy from you, that's willing to, really back you on your idea, be your early customers on this.
And that's
I think
pretty
that's been very
difficult to
important.
find in most cities, like where you have everyone from all parts of the ecosystems kind of connected.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what I've seen in the little time I've been here. It's that you can connect to those industry leaders, even if you're an entrepreneur. So the gap kind of lessens
Yeah.
versus that. So yes. So lastly, let's let to end just what excites you about, say, the next 5 years of this district? What should we be looking forward towards, growing if we as an entrepreneur are part of this district? What is to come in the future?
I think what's very exciting right now, I'm gonna sound the most cliche when I say this, but when you look at advancements in AI that are happening right now, that has really propelled, small businesses and entrepreneurs, especially, again, to work faster than they've ever worked. I think it's been very important that I always taken this as a lesson for myself. You try to fail as quickly as you can to find out what really works.
Yes.
But new technology, new emerging technology like that has really helped. But making sure that we have the infrastructure in place, that's where I'm very glad that 5 years ago, the Innovation District came about, the Brampton Venture Zone came about. So you have been on a 5-year journey as well. As I would say Brampton Venture Zone as a startup in itself
Yes,
has
definitely.
learned a lot in these 5 years that you have the infrastructure set up. But right now, like you see all the best parts of the world colliding onto this, whether, like I said, you have new emerging and fast developing technologies like artificial intelligence. Here at the City of Brampton, we're investing into building a center for innovation. Our med school just started up last year. Their first cohort will be graduating very soon. Out of the med school, you will have medical doctors here, but a lot of med tech that's coming alongside with that. We have some more exciting news as well that you will see down the line. But within this last year, we've built, I believe, about 12 million square feet of new commercial spaces here in the city. Our city was always typically known as a bedroom community, only focused on building housing. But when you look at the last 4 to 5 years, the amount of investment that's gone into institutions and institutional investment that's happened in our city has been incredible. I think these 5 years has been like bringing everybody together, getting the entire infrastructure built. The next 5 years is going to be banking on this investment now. Is making sure that we can be bold in our vision. Everything that the Brampton Venture Zone has done, you've experimented for the first 5 years, you've seen what's worked for you, and you're gonna go from there, hone in on particular verticals and try to master those. We see that with our other innovation district partners as well, really adapting new technologies, but also seeing where their future lies. And again, at the City of Brampton, we've renewed our commitment with the Brampton Venture Zone for the next 5 years. We've done that with all our innovation district partners because we believe that we've done great work in these last 5 years. So the next 5 shouldn't be any different. If not, it should be bigger, faster, and I would say much bolder.
So as an entrepreneur, you have to be completely curious to know more and ambitious enough to find all those pathways to that journey ahead. So thank you so much for joining us, Councillor Toor.
Thank you.
And it was lovely having you.
Thank you.
Wish you all the success this year as well.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And happy 5 years to the Brampton Venture Zone.
Same to you for the council and the
Thank you.
district.
Awesome. Thank you.